We're live?
Sure.
We're doing it?
Yeah.
Nice. This is our podcast, guys. This is how we start this thing.
Yeah. All awkward and weird, like normal. You know, it wouldn't be us if we didn't.
It's true. But thanks for coming back.
Yeah, thanks. It's Creatures of the Night podcast. I'm Wendy.
And I'm Chris.
There, we did that.
We did it.
So a couple of weeks ago, I spent like a whole evening like binge watching, trying to catch up on all the ghost shows that are out there because I hadn't binge watched something in so long. And there was just like one weekend night that I was like, my brain is fried. I can't do anything else. This is all I want to do is know what's going on in the paranormal world on TV.
TV.
Yeah. So I got through all the serial killer series that Ghost Adventures did.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. My favorite was the Squirrel Cage Jail in Iowa.
Oh.
It's in Council Bluffs.
Yeah.
I've seen that on social media like a million times.
I have too. Yeah.
And I think that the Bump in the Night people, Troy Taylor's group, used to do like events there every year, like multiple events.
Yeah, because it's Ohio, right?
Right. So
Yes.
of course it's super active, like because there's just some vortex underneath that entire fucking state.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah. But the craziest piece of evidence throughout the entire series that they did, I'm not sure it came from the jail, but I don't know where it came from, which episode. I watched all of them like back to back, so they just all kind of ran together.
It was one episode in your brain. You're like, yep.
Just the whole, like 5 hours of a series or something. But the craziest thing that happened was it was Zach and I think Jay, and they were standing like in a hallway type area, but they were standing right next to like a static cam. And they were just standing there, and I don't know if they were just discussing something or if they were trying to do an EVP session. I'm not for sure. But I know that Zach was standing completely still. And then something that was in his pocket just flew the fuck out of there.
Wow.
Listen, I mean, it is rare that I react to much that happens on this show anymore just because I've watched it for so long. It's hard for them to surprise me. But I like literally gasped. And then they like replayed it and they did it like in slow motion. So you could totally see this thing fly out of his pocket. There's just no way this could have been faked unless it was like, the string type thing. Somebody's off camera and they've tied a string to whatever's in his pocket and they yank it out. But people got these fucking 4K TVs now. You can't pull that kind of shit.
No, okay, so that happened on Ghost Hunters, and that's kind of when that show tanked because, you could clearly see the string. You could see like how everyone's reactions was totally played out and weird. It wasn't right. How did Zach react when some shit flew out of his pocket?
Well, he'd be wearing those baggy pants.
He does have some big ass pants on. True.
So it's kind of hard for him to maybe realize that just came from my pocket because that's kind of how he reacted. He was like, what the fuck was that? He just heard something hit the ground.
Right.
And Jay was like, what was that? And then they put the flashlight on it and he's like, that was just in my pocket.
Wow. Oh man, I'm a little disappointed that Jay didn't scream. I love it when he does. Okay, but yes, it was Zach's pocket, so he should have been the one to scream, but he's not going to. The fact that it flew out of his pocket and it's on the ground and Zach recognizes it, I mean, that's pretty crazy. I have not seen that episode. I know you texted me and you're like, there's some crazy shit going on, but I'm like, I'm backed up, dude. I can't see any of these shows right now. Shit.
And then, I'm not helpful because I can't offer like which episode it was. So I'm like, well, you just have to watch all of them.
All of them.
And maybe the Halloween special too, because I don't fucking remember which one it was. And I was drinking. So, not helpful at all.
I know. So when you started in, I was like, this is John Wayne Gacy. This is John Wayne Gacy. This is John. Oh, it's not John Wayne Gacy, because that's the one that I did get to watch. Because I'm like, maybe let's spin the wheel of which episode Wendy's talking about.
Well, look, we're narrowing it down then, because it's not the H.H. Holmes one. That wasn't a part of my binge. So it's not H.H. Holmes and it's not John Wayne Gacy. So there you go, guys. I really don't think it was the jail either, but maybe it was. So.
Oh, you don't think it was?
I don't know. But it wasn't those two.
And I'm wrong. I didn't see the John Wayne Gacy one. I saw the Ted Bundy episode.
Oh, really? Because that's the one I thought it was.
But I don't remember anything coming out of his pocket in that episode. But that was a really good episode.
Right. So I'm sure it wasn't that episode then. So we're getting it no, we're not. I mean, it's still only take 2 out, but there was only like 4 or 5 episodes of this serial killer thing. But that Ted Bundy one, that was fucking hilarious.
It was a good episode.
Something happened to Aaron and he freaks out, and Zach don't even fucking care. He's bolting out the door. And I said, Zach and me, we're so much alike. Fend for yourself.
Zach was like, you guys got this, right? I'm out. Done. Like, I think I saw this on Instagram or Twitter. I'm not really sure which one, but it was like, when will Billy learn?
He's become Aaron number 2. For sure. Yeah. So you haven't gotten to catch up on any ghost shows or anything?
No, I have not. But I did see one of them because it was like, okay, this is my night off. I'm going to watch this one episode. But I have the book that Anne somebody. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. I so desperately wanted to say Rice, and that is not right.
Well, that would be good books too, but
those are good books. But those are vampires. So I was like, I have her book and I'm halfway through it. So, and I've watched all the things on Netflix. I've watched everything that there is to deal with Ted Bundy. And I know he's a monster. So when I saw that Ghost Adventures were going there, I'm like, oh, I cannot wait to watch this. Because I'm weird. It's not like I have an infatuation with these murderers. It's just that I like to know all of the storyline.
Yeah, when we were watching the Ted Bundy, all of that stuff. And then, my youngest likes to watch this stuff with me. He's a Ghost Adventures fan. He's like, who's that guy? And who's that guy? I'm like, well, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. He's a demon.
He gets a soft version, but I don't feel like I should sugarcoat it because they should know what kind of real demons exist out there in the world.
Yeah, there are real monsters that exist 100%. So that's funny because every time I hear that in my mind, I think of lore because Aaron Mahnke actually said that on one of his episodes and he couldn't have been more fucking dead on. There are real monsters out there and it's so like the things that they did, they're bad. But then we have Ghost Adventures and stuff and they're like, oh, they're going to that place? All right, cool. Well, let's watch that shit. I can't get enough.
Yeah. Well, the supernatural is so magical in a sense, and then it feels a lot safer than here, talking about serial killers, just period. That shit's for real and scary. This is like, oh, that's so funny. Something flew out of his pocket.
To me, it's like a horror movie because it's not legit. Even though things like that actually happened and even at these places that they're going to explore, I don't know. It's something that happened in the past. So,
And from our experience so far, knock on wood, it hasn't hurt us necessarily. Yeah. So you feel, until it does, you feel like it can't touch you, like that type thing. So where murderers are very real. And so hearing those stories just kind of prepare you on how to protect yourself. The ghost stuff, it's kind of fun because it's very interesting. And then you try to go out there and explore yourself to see if it'll happen. But so I also watched a couple of episodes of Destination Fear. They were pretty decent. They remind me of those shows that used to come on MTV. I think it was just called Fear, where they would put just people that were interested in the paranormal in a haunted place and see how they handle it. Yeah. Except for they do actually have the tools, but they are mostly just trying to see if they can survive the night.
Yeah, it's like the shit that you see on Instagram or anything, social media, and it's like, how would you last in a haunted house and blah, blah, blah. So that's what they're actually doing.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, they try to actively investigate. For the most part, they're just trying to see how they handle it. It's kind of like a long version of that Fear Factor. No, that's not the name. I don't know.
No, but I remember what you're talking about because it was, I don't know, like late 90s?
Yeah. I don't want to age myself. Let's just cut that out.
Look, guys, how many times do I bring up the 90s? I mean, I fucking love that place. That was my jam. That was my era for sure. I'm all about it.
So I totally got my ghost fix for the night. And then I went right back to working on this podcast 24/7 and having no free time to be lazy at all and binge watch things. But at least we really do like working on this podcast. So I know it consumes a lot of our time, but we enjoy it, right?
I do. I love the research because me personally, that's how I wake up in the mornings. A fresh cup of coffee, and let's see what horror-filled paranormal place is out there that I can look into. I don't really know why that's something that has just crept into my heart and has just stayed there with me. I love the paranormal so much that I go questing for it daily. I love to write about it, and you guys know that I sure as fuck love to talk. So yes, that I do love. The editing, though, Wendy, I mean, that is another, you have to listen to our voices over and over again. You have to take all the burping and the pauses and the side convo out. And I mean, that's a whole nother realm of.
Sometimes it's hard to give up the side combo because you think it's so hilarious. You're like, that was so funny. But yeah, the burping and the mispronunciations and stuff like that. Like, if you ever want to hate yourself, start a podcast and edit it yourself. But that's just my unhealthy demons right there. But the good side about the podcast is I really do enjoy is that now I have like a regular schedule that I'm forced to have to go out there and find paranormal stories and then get all the little details so that I can share them with you. Like before we started this podcast, we might have found shit here and there, but it wasn't like a regularly scheduled event. Wendy, make sure you take your time this week to find paranormal stuff. So I love having that schedule.
Yeah. Look, like I just said, I like to find stuff and, I'm not really keeping notes on this sort of shit anyways. It's just a way to wake me up. If my imagination isn't going in the morning, then I would rather be sleeping. And my body is like, no, bitch, you need to get up. So I'm surfing the internet looking for stuff. This podcast is an outlet for me to share with the world all of those wonderful things that I find on the internet. So I'm glad that you brought that up because this gives me a way to express myself. Not only am I telling Wendy, because we don't get to ghost hunt often enough. We want to. We want to ghost hunt every fucking weekend.
All the time.
Funds don't allow us to. The fact that I'm in one part of the country and Wendy's in the other part of the country also don't allow us to. Definitely ghost hunting is on our mind all the time. And this is, I guess, sort of like our way of continuing to investigate it while we can't go out and actually explore it or investigate it. Yeah.
It really is, though. It's that release that we weren't getting before. Like, because we used to go for so long with, we were only investigating like once a year or twice a year. And then so we'd have these long breaks between. It felt awful. And now we just live in the paranormal.
Right.
So it's like, I investigated that place. Well, I mean, I looked it up on the internet.
Right.
I talked about it a lot.
I know all of the names of everybody that you want to contact.
Right. I got the whole story. Like I was there. So, I mean, I really do like it, and that is really fun. So people out there that if you're scared of investigating or you don't get to do it enough, like Chris and I, then just make it a habit. Like first thing in the morning to look something up, or once a week, like spend some time like investigating something you've always wanted to. When you really dig in deep and then you watch some videos or whatever, you almost feel like you were there. So it's like a cool virtual visit.
It is. No kidding. Pick a city and focus on that city. And then pick a different city. I mean, the Google searches are endless, guys. You'll find some places that you never heard of before. And you're like, gotta add that to my bucket list. It might become awkward. And, the conversations by the water cooler at work, I got to tell you, every single time someone asks me what I'm doing on my weekend, I'm like, how do I put this into words where they will continue to talk to me, but also not freak out?
You don't. You just say, not much.
Not much.
Errands.
I like to say that I play on the internet. And I also love taking photographs. And that usually even keels everything out. They're like, oh, okay, whatever. And I don't show them pictures of the graveyards, the haunted locations, the abandoned places.
Good move. But you're right. Yeah, you can say photography. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So anyways, you want to hear what I found for you this week?
Oh, hell yes. I want to hear.
All right, let's do this. So many episodes ago, I briefly mentioned that myself and my family were on vacation in West Yellowstone, Montana, when we did like a self-guided tour of a train car there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so on that podcast, I couldn't remember much, as usual. So I didn't even know the name of this train car. But I found out that the train car came from the Oregon Short Line, 1903. And this particular car was constructed as an executive rail car for the vice president of Union Pacific. It was pretty fancy on the inside.
I bet it was.
Yeah. In 1935, the car was given as a retirement gift to E.C. Manson. He set it on a stone foundation next to the forest, just 3 blocks west of its present location. After various owners used it as a summer house, because I imagine a train car in the Montana winter is a bad idea. Clyde and Linda Seeley purchased it in 1975. After many paint jobs and various colors done to the exterior, this historic rail car had lost its identity and looked like just any old relic.
Aww.
But on the inside, though, it still was in immaculate condition and well maintained.
That's how I feel moving into my 40s.
I would reverse that for myself, maybe. Try to make myself feel good. Finally, its real identity was revealed when photos were discovered in the Smithsonian Institute.
Oh, yes.
One shows the completed car in front of the Pullman factory, and the other, it was an interior shot with the original furniture. So that's how they knew for sure that this was the car. In 1995, this museum-quality rail car was relocated to its current location, and the Seeleys built a Holiday Inn around it.
No shit.
Making this one of the most interesting things I think I've ever seen in a hotel lobby.
Oh, wow. It was in a hotel lobby?
It is technically a part of a hotel lobby, but if you go on a hunt for this rail car, it is now in the heart of what it is called the West Yellowstone Conference Hotel and next to the Oregon Short Line restaurant. So It's not necessarily like you go and check in at the end of the train car, but it is within the West Yellowstone Conference Hotel. I think the Holiday Inn just moved building is what it is. So it's not in a Holiday Inn anymore. The Holiday Inn's like a building over or whatever. I guess they must wanted to update. But I have to tell you, after all my searching online, I was disappointed to find no reported hauntings whatsoever of this wonderfully creepy rail car.
Lies!
Must be. I smelt it. It's haunted. But like a gift from the Google gods, I stumbled upon a train with a dark, dark past and a few ghost stories to go along with it.
Oh.
In 1881, the Lackawanna.
That sounds awful like... Oh, that's super close to something I know of.
So close. I know you would love that. The Lackawanna Railroad Company built a track through the Wayland area, which offered first-class seating to passengers traveling to New York, Chicago, St. Louis, and Cleveland.
And in Chicago, the Lackawanna? I mean, it's destiny, Wendy. It's destiny.
I know. It came right to you, basically. This was named the Nickel Plate Road since it ran through Lake Erie and Westerfield, New York. The Lackawanna Limited No. 3, built in 1934, transported people from New York City to Buffalo. It was considered a beautiful train car for its time and was even later referred to as the Phoebe Snow, which was a symbol of the Lackawanna Train Company. This symbol was appealing to travelers since it showed a lady in a pristine white dress traveling by train, and she could keep her white dress clean no matter how far the train took her. Because at the time, like, train travel wasn't that popular. A lot of people were like, that shit's dusty and dirty. I don't want to do it. But they didn't have other options either, so I don't know what their problem was.
I mean, don't wear white.
Yeah, duh.
Or black.
But the company had started using a new form of coal, so it made it a cleaner admission. So, you know, they were like, you'll be fine, ladies. Wear your best dress, whatever.
Oh, okay.
So, on August 30th, 1943, with 500 passengers aboard, the train departed from Hoboken, New Jersey on time at 9:20 a.m. It then left Binghamton Station at 2:50 p.m., 30 minutes behind schedule. Somebody's ass wasn't getting on the train fast enough.
That would be me. Wait, I got like 5 more bags. Just 2 seconds. Hold on.
But the train kicked it into turbo gear, I guess. And they made up for most of the time that they had lost. So at 5:22 p.m., the passenger train sideswiped the engine of a freight train traveling from Elmira to Mount Morris and derailed. The engineer of the freight train said that he was not expecting the passenger train so soon as it had been reported to be behind schedule. The engineer of the passenger train, who had been regaining time and was only 10 minutes behind at the time of the crash, said that he saw the freight train on the tracks ahead and applied the emergency brake, but he could not stop in time. The train was traveling about 80 miles per hour and only slowed, which that was their standard speed.
Mine too, in the van.
You'd be rolling.
Understand.
So the train had only slowed to 50 miles per hour at the time of the collision.
Wow.
The locomotive of the freight train scraped the side of several cars before causing severe damage to the fifth passenger coach number 62. The impact tore open the side of the car, and deadly boiler steam from the damaged freight engine, now on its side, shot into the coach.
Damn.
Many people were trapped in the coach, though some were able to escape by breaking windows. Other passengers from rear cars also broke windows in an attempt to vent the steam and free trapped passengers.
Wow.
A deputy sheriff saw the crash from a nearby bridge and immediately radioed for medical services. Many policemen, community members, and medical personnel arrived on the scene to try and save as many passengers as they could. Agonizing screams came from within the car as the passengers were being badly burned. The only hospital in Wayland was overwhelmed as it only had 15 beds.
Damn.
Not helpful at all.
No.
Many wounded were taken to other towns by ambulance and private automobiles. An emergency shipment of blood plasma was flown from Strong Memorial Hospital in Rochester by the Civil Air Patrol to the Dansville Airport and landed with the aid of automobile headlights on the runway.
Wow. So I'd always heard that, in my younger years and being in school as a young child, I had heard that donating your plasma was way better than just donating your blood. So
they're usually out for your type of blood type. Mine
Yes.
is pretty common. So they're like, yeah, we got enough of that. So
mine isn't.
what do you
I have
got?
like O negative.
I don't know if that's rare, but I think all the O bloods are pretty like, we got to have some of that.
I know. I need to be selling this shit, right? I could make some money for Christmas.
That's wrong.
No. Okay. Then
Well,
take
no,
that
your
part out.
plasma, because I think it's more extensive than your blood. Go ahead and make your money at the plasma centers. But yeah. No, but I donate when I can. Not plasma. I've never done that, but blood.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. The teacher that had taken us aside was basically like, just so you know, don't ever donate your blood. Always donate to the plasma donors because the plasma is what they actually need. And if you donate your blood, whoever it is that's taking your blood charges the people that need it so that they can extract the plasma to get it to them. So if you donate your plasma, they don't have to. I swear to God, it was this guy that was out on kind of like a cause. He wanted to let us all know, don't ever donate your blood. Just go straight for the plasma donors or whatever. I never did it. Either way, I'd like to help, but I was a little confused because when anybody comes to me and they're like, no, don't listen to them, listen to me. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to listen to either of you motherfuckers because now I don't trust anybody.
Right.
I need to find out more.
I did not know this. Nobody ever told us this because you're right. They charge people. Like if you go into the hospital and you have surgery, you're paying for that blood.
Yep. This guy had, like I said, pulled us aside and he was like, okay, now listen to this shit. And as a child, I was already big into conspiracy theories because that's who I was. And I was like, all right, well, I got to check into your story because I don't know if I believe you, but it was weird that you, sir, are bringing this to my attention.
So cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. Like donate your plasma, I guess. So on this day, they did set up like a blood drive as well for people that were there. They had like an emergency blood service donation setup thing to try to save as many lives as possible. In the end, this horrific accident took the lives of 28 people and injured 150 others. The victims ranged from a 5-year-old girl to an 81-year-old woman.
Wow.
Yeah, there was diverse people on this one train car, and that was what was hit the worst.
Yeah.
The DL&W sent a train from Hoboken, New Jersey, the next day with relatives of the victims to aid in identification of the dead, some of whom were scalded beyond recognition.
How the fuck do you recognize that person?
How do you want to look at that? It's got to be so rough. It took them several days to finally identify all of the victims.
Mm-hmm.
The cause of the accident was investigated by the railroad, the New York State Public Service Commission, and the Interstate Commerce Commission. Investigations confirmed that all signaling devices were operating and in correct position. However, the location was not protected by a derail device, which probably would have prevented the accident, according to a Public Service Commission investigator. Wow. Derail devices were usually used only when the siding was on the downgrade. A siding being a short stretch of railroad track used to store train cars, but also to enable trains on the same line to pass.
Okay.
The engineer of the freight train, 63-year-old Albert Driscoll, who worked in that position for 37 years, testified that he was switching cars at the Gunlock Chair Factory siding when he moved onto the main track after being signaled to do so by the brakeman. The brakeman said he assumed the train would stop before reaching the main line. My guess is what they mean is the brakeman was allowing the freight train to scoot up to the main line, but he didn't actually expect him to go on to the main line until his scheduled time that he could be allowed back on the track. There were so many conflicting testimonies from all parties involved over what signals were given, switch settings, and the schedule of the passenger train that in the end, the ICC concluded the cause of the accident was a failure of the railroad to adhere to and enforce operating rules which are essential to safety. A generic ass statement to basically say, y'all done fucked up big time.
Right. It's on y'all, not us.
What the fuck? The nickel plate rail coach number 62 was quickly restored and used for several years after the incident. The Lackawanna trains ran through the Wayland area until June 30th, 1962, when it was decided that would be their last ride.
Wow.
The company was going down too, also.
Oh.
They were just, I don't know. They just weren't doing very well. In 1983, the now infamous Death Car, as it became known as, great name, and it was still on the tracks too, was bought by a historic society in Ohio.
Of course it was.
I just thought about when you did the Cedar Point, and we were talking about how Ohio, like Iowa, just full of fucking haunted shit. And I'm like, here I am back in Ohio, but how can I not?
So it's really tough to get away from it. Everything haunted is in Ohio or Iowa.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
It's the weirdest thing.
It's a vortex of paranormal shit.
Those two states. And then a few others, I guess.
Well, yeah, there's a few.
So now you can visit the Midwest, almost kept saying Mid-South, by the way. But
I know, right? Well, that wouldn't be your fault. Just so you know, we're from Tennessee, so we say Mid-South. Since you said that, I listened to our Sarah Winchester episode 59. I've listened to this episode already 3 times. I don't know, because I just can't get enough of our voices. But
conceited.
I am super conceited. There's a part in there when I'm like, I've got these $2, and it's like weird New Hampshire. It's not fucking weird New Hampshire. It's weird New England. And it's just because I'm in New Hampshire that I just assume everything weird is in New Hampshire. But it's weird New England. And just like you with I almost said for Mid-South, it's because we're familiar with Mid-South because that's where we're from.
Right.
It makes sense. Yeah. That was my oops. And I meant to bring it up on the last episode and I totally forgot. But at the same time, I'm like, who cares if I oops or not? But anyways.
Oh, why we're on oops though. When I was talking this is a different episode, but I said Spooky Eats, and actually the Instagram page I was talking about, I took a picture of it. It is Spook Eats. She's from Buffalo. And yeah, her whole thing is about a strange and unusual girl traveling America to find good foods and spirits of all kinds. So it's Spook Eats. And you should check her out because she goes to some cool places and then she finds, tasty meals. So
that's on the episode about the limp because I found her like, oh my God.
Oh, you found, oh, good. I said it wrong and you still found her. Good. Okay, so back to this story. Then you can now visit the Midwest Railway Preservation Society to tour or even take a ride on this historic car in Cleveland.
Come on.
Cleveland, I know.
Oh my God. Way to go, Ohio. All right.
Though it is hard to imagine the anguish those 28 men, women, and children felt as they were trapped and eventually died on that horrible day. It's an emotion many say you can still feel today. Over the years and through multiple paranormal investigations, groups now believe that 17 spirits inhabit the train car.
Wow.
The Preservation Society even called on the help of that famous TAPS team, the Ghost Hunters crew, in 2016 to investigate the activity. So this was after Grant, but still on TV before their little break, I guess.
Yeah, that must have been before like their contract had expired or whatever, right? Yeah.
Right. They called upon the TAPS team after a young boy suffered a broken arm while riding in the death car and a window spontaneously slammed down on his arm.
Oh, damn.
Also, the Midwest Preservation Society had just recently sold a train car to a private collector who now complained of ghostly activity within his new purchase. This private collector was hoping to purchase another train car from the Preservation Society, but he asked if the TAPS team could find him one that isn't haunted. This dude sounds like no fun at all.
Oh, that is so funny because I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I'm like, lame.
You had me at haunted trains. You're looking for not haunted trains, dude. Yeah, boring.
What the fuck did you buy a train car in the first place for?
Yeah.
Because I was sitting here thinking that we should get in on buying a haunted train car together.
And just travel between Arizona to New England? Yeah.
Anyways, so the paranormal claims from those who work with the Preservation Society and from guests who have toured the trains is that, like I said, the windows have been known to close on their own, not just that one instance when it fell on the little boy's arm. Like somebody that works at the Preservation Society said one time that they just walked up onto the train car and a bunch of windows just like slammed down.
What? That's creepy. I mean,
I'd piss my pants and be gone.
Wait, and then you come back with a bunch of cameras, set that shit up, and then leave again.
I'd work my courage up to come back after I got, some backup so, could do anything with you by my side. So people have also felt cold spots, and multiple people have seen the apparition of a man in a tweed suit aboard and on top of the train car. I don't know what he's doing on top of there, but I'm assuming they think he must work for the railroad then. What does the tweed suit look like? Do you know?
It's very fashionable. I mean, it's trendy, like if you're a hipster, because it's like, it's not black and it's not gray, or it's that in-between brownish color, right? Maybe tweed. I would assume it's got those really slick.
Oh, the little pads on the arms?
Yeah, the patch.
Yeah,
I think
that's
if
snazzy.
it says tweed, like in my mind, I'm thinking 70s snaz,
I have no idea what tweed is.
So, I am so out of the loop because I don't watch TV anymore and I don't even listen to radio. I just assume that that's what tweed is.
Nobody listens to radio, but whoever knows what a tweed suit is, please tell us. If you've got pictures, that's even better.
Write to us with your pictures.
Yes. But the nickel plate road coach number 62 isn't the only source of ghostly activity on the grounds either. The Preservation Society actually has quite the collection of old rail cars, plus the B&O Roundhouse as a centerpiece of their facility. Many have claimed that a man haunts the B&O Roundhouse, but his identity is mostly unknown. One paranormal team named ORBS, which stands for Ohio Research of Bandit Spirits. Have you heard of them before? I've seen their stuff before.
I want to say that I used to follow them on Instagram, but that might have been my personal account because I haven't seen them on like our accounts in a really long time.
We'll have to find them then and tell them we talked about them.
Orbs. Gotcha.
They believe that the spirit's name is Paul, and he possibly worked as a railroad employee, which, you know, of course, they've gained this information over various investigations and, you know, using the different forms of techniques such as, you know, audio recorders, or they use flashlights or meters to get responses back. You know, you guys that are ghost hunters.
You know how this works.
Yeah. While the TAPS team was there, they recorded sounds of footsteps on the roof of the B&O Roundhouse.
Wow.
Which they later confirmed with members of the Preservation Society that the B&O Roundhouse doesn't have any access to the roof. So there's no way for anything to be up there. This have to be a bird, you know? It can't even be a fucking animal.
A bird wearing boots. Bam, bam, bam.
Many that work with the Preservation Society think it's very possible that their area and this roundhouse could have played a part in being a murder spot for the infamous Cleveland torso murderer.
Stop it.
Or what some call the Mad Butcher. For those of you that are not weirdos like me and Chris, and have already read and heard, you know, some stuff about this famous unsolved case, the Cleveland torso murders took place in the 1930s when 13 confirmed bodies of men and women, that number varies, just so you know, they were murdered and dismembered in the area of what was called the Roaring Third, or the hobo jungle of Cleveland's Kingsbury Run.
Can I bother you for a second?
Interject as much as you like.
Are you going to talk at all about BuzzFeed?
Oh, that's totally where I went. This is so funny. Forever ago, somebody said, you should do the Cleveland torso murders. And I was like, yeah, you know, except for I do a paranormal podcast, not a murder podcast.
Murder podcast.
But I looked all into it and I was like, there's got to be something fucking haunted because of this.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, so they say this museum is haunted, but it's very like, there's not a whole lot on it. And some people say some bridges are haunted, but again, very little on it. So I was like, this murder though, it's crazy. I gotta talk about this. So when I realized they think that the Cleveland torso murderer might have ran in their area, I was like, you are fucking kidding me. This is all I ever want to talk about, because I could not find enough haunted shit before. I actually threw all of that information out. I had cut, copied, and pasted so much about the Cleveland torsos murder and saved it in my email. And then I just recently deleted it because I was like, I'll never find a connection. I found this connection. So I was like, fuck, I threw out all my research. So I watched BuzzFeed Unsolved. I just need that quick little reminder.
But it's so fucking crazy because this morning when I was posting to Twitter, I'm like, oh, yeah. I got to post BuzzFeed Unsolved. They talked about Sarah Winchester. And like, I go to look up their video and I'm like, I remember when I watched that about the torso killer. I shit you not, that happened this fucking morning. And now you're doing the story. That's why I was like, oh, that happened this fucking morning, dude. Like, neurons.
Crazy.
Holy shit.
That's fucking crazy, Chris.
Right.
Stop being my soulmate, okay? No, don't.
Why I can't sleep, because I'm creeping into your brain.
So, what did I say last? Kingsbury Run, blah, 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 blah. The torso murderer always beheaded his victims and occasionally severed the victim's torso in half and severed other appendages in some cases.
It was creepy.
Many of the victims were found after a considerable period of time following their deaths. Some were not found for a full year after.
Whoa.
Yeah, not great. And you know, in those times, so it's not like they could get a whole lot of stuff off of that because they just weren't up to the science like that.
Yeah, the forensics weren't all that advanced. Yeah.
So with that, the victims of the torso murder were usually considered drifters whose identities were never determined, though some were known. But I also wonder how much of that never being able to determine who they were was just the fact that they were so decayed that nobody could identify them. Or the areas that they came from, they weren't making a good effort. But
or it was a conspiracy. Just saying.
In 1935, as the killer was becoming more and more ballsy, one victim was dumped right in front of the Nickel Plate Railroad police station.
Right.
The last murder of the Mad Butcher was 1938. And in response to the discovery of this victim, the famed detective Elliot Ness made the unpopular decision to burn down all of the makeshift homes in the hobo jungle, thinking this would solve his problem because he had no true suspects.
I'm sorry, but that's also the nickname that I give my house. I just had to clear the air there. Hobo jungle.
You look at the people in your house. Who are these motherfuckers? Get out.
Why are you all here?
Fucking clean something. No. So I believe this is just kind of what Elliot Ness was telling people, that he had no true suspects.
Yeah.
Because it was highly believed that Francis E. Sweeney was Ness's primary suspect. But Sweeney was the first cousin of one of Ness's political opponents, Congressman Martin L. Sweeney. But get this, like I said, this is totally the fucking guy. He was a veteran of World War I. Fine, that doesn't make you a murderer, but it could give you PTSD is all I'm saying.
True.
While he was in the war, he was a part of a medical unit that conducted amputations in the field. Then he came back and became a doctor with a super bad drinking and abuse problem, which was documented by his wife's several requests to have him committed.
Ooh, well, I mean, my husband might be doing the same thing with me, but I'm not out there like slashing and hacking up people. But I do love the drink. I mean, you know.
But not the abuse.
No, I'm not abusing it at work. I abuse people.
What?
No.
You need to stop before you incriminate yourself to something. So also around the time that Ness started locking in on Francis, Sweeney voluntarily committed himself to a hospital. I think volunteer-told. What do they say? Voluntold. You know, probably by his congressman cousin who was like, bitch, you got to take yourself to get some help. I don't know. That's just my theory on things. But they also say right after he entered the hospital, all the murders seemed to just suddenly stop.
Right. Weird.
Strange. So there was another man. His name was Frank Dolenzai, who was arrested during the investigation and imprisoned for the murders, mostly because he only showed connection to one of the victims.
Oh.
Yeah, like, so he also could never really give any information on the murder scenes to other victims or even the one that they were trying to connect him to. And then this poor guy killed himself while he was in jail before the trial even started. Or murdered, whichever, you know.
Ooh. Wasn't he one of the guys that had lived with one of the people that had been murdered for like just a brief time or something like that?
He was connected and they had a nasty relationship or whatever. Right. People were like, he hated her or him or whatever. I think it was a her. And so like, let's pinpoint him. He was from that rough area as well. So they just picked him up and, you know, they say he killed himself. Some people say he died under mysterious circumstances while in prison.
Right.
I don't know. But it was so long ago and it is still considered an unsolved case. But some of the people from the Midwest Railroad Preservation Society believe that it's possible that the Mad Butcher could have brought his victims to the area. You know, people be always doing shady shit around the railroad tracks. But honestly, there is no proof that connects this location to those murders.
Oh, okay.
However, there does seem to be a spirit inhabiting the B&O Roundhouse and another train car on the grounds as well, which is the Mount Baxter rail car, where in bunk number 7, a woman had passed away in her sleep during a train ride. Many say that the spirit seems to be very protective of her old bunk, which, look, we've said this plenty of times. The emotions that we feel seem to put off an energy.
Yeah.
Just like when your dog senses that you're upset, or your kids or your partner senses your mood is what I'm talking about. So these hauntings sometimes seem to be like an imprint of an emotion that the once living left behind, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I say all of that just to explain to you what this bunk looked like. It was not a private room. It was literally a small little bed in the middle of rows of chairs that had like little curtains to it.
Oh.
I mean, I would not be comfortable sleeping in the open like that with a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, no.
So I'm just pointing out that maybe the feelings of protectiveness that investigators feel is something a lot of women or even men like myself would have felt while using this bunk.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, that level of like uncomfort because your guard is up, because you're around a bunch of people that you don't trust.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be trying to be resting. Like, you can't. Why'd they even buy that seat? That's dumb.
Oh, man. People are like trying to go to sleep, but they're like, ugh, I hate this spot. This sucks. Yeah, that's creepy.
So it's just my little own personal theory about this hotspot, that it's an emotion a lot of people could have put off. It's not necessarily the woman that passed there, in my opinion.
Right.
But within this car, the bunk isn't the only hotspot on the train. People have reported the presence of a man in the kitchen car. And one time even, members of the Preservation Society were working in the kitchen area when they felt a huge gust of wind past them.
Oh.
Should not really happen on a train car, you know?
Nope. Yeah.
And then also Jason Haas from the TAPS team, he heard footsteps coming from that same area of where the kitchen car is as he stood down the hallway with the cameraman, and there was nobody else on the train. And they also did not go forward and investigate it, as Ghost Hunters does not.
Okay, so this is still Ghost Hunters. This isn't the new show, whatever, with Steve Gonsalves and Dave or whatever.
No, but Dave and Steve were a part of this investigation. So it was him, Jason, and then like these other two I don't remember, don't care about. Anyways.
They're not on this anymore anyways. Who cares?
Yeah, whatever. Like later on in the night, Jason, along with Steve Gonsalves, also saw a shadow figure. That's cool. They saw it with their own eyes. Of course, they didn't document it or whatever, but that's hard to document. We've said that multiple times.
It is weird. It is hard to document. It is very, 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 very extremely hard to document if you're on Ghost Hunters.
It's like 10 times harder, yes.
It is so much harder.
So many roadblocks of actually seeing evidence. But while investigating the actual death car, that's when they got that shadow figure. They also got an EVP that said, "Get out."
Nice.
Now, whether that's a residual EVP or a demand from an angry spirit, this is unknown. But the general feel of the TAPS team was that though the area is definitely full of paranormal activity, none of it seems to be harmful. They tested the train car windows and they debunked that because they saw that once you applied just a little bit of force around the surrounding walls, that in fact the windows will close on their own. So that kid was on the car when it was in motion. So it could have just slammed down. Now, some employees say they walked onto the train and all the windows slammed down. That's a little different.
Yeah, that is different.
But the report about the kid, that's kind of debunked, I guess. As I mentioned before, the Orbs Group, Ohio Researchers of Banded Spirits, has also investigated this location multiple times, and they host paranormal events there as well. I found one of their experiences on Mr. P's World History YouTube.
That sounds okay. I think I've actually seen that before.
Are you kidding me?
No, Mr. P sounds really familiar to me.
I was like, world history? Is he a teacher? He doesn't say that though. And he also does not give his name. So I don't know his true identity. But he did share this short little clip from his experience on one of the Orbs paranormal events. The group had gotten images on their SLS camera, not once, but twice, while on the nickel plate coach number 62. In the video, you can see the image is acting like very wildly, as if in motion, trying to escape. Kind of like maybe reliving the accident. They then investigated the B&O roundhouse and got some communication with a flashlight with the spirit that they believe is named Paul, where Paul said, I mean, like from the questions that they asked, Paul said that he did, in fact, used to work at the roundhouse and he knew nothing of the torso murders. Those were the types of questions they asked.
All right. Cleared and that's
There.
good.
None of that was going on. I also watched an investigation with just some of the members of the Orbs group. That would be Amy Cobb, Chris Page, and Carlo with a K. And his last name, I'm not even going to try to say it. It is Zuzic. Whatever that is.
Wait, Zuzic.
Yep. I just love that he's Carlo with a K.
Yeah, right. All right. What's the demon that...
The Zazu.
Yes, thank you. Like Zach Bagans always runs into. When you were like spelling this out, I'm like, that sounds like that.
Yep. So we shouldn't say it out loud. Just
nope.
Even though I just did. But
Spell
I think, what is it, like you don't say it 3 times, like Beetlejuice or something?
Right. Or Bloody Mary, one of those things.
Right.
Keep it to yourself. All right.
Now, I found this investigation on a website called dangerousminds.net, but the group members, they do have their own YouTube pages, guys. So you could try their YouTube pages, but for some reason, this website just like came up upon my path first. During this investigation, they heard sounds of people whispering, though nobody was there. They received responses with meters that, showed that a spirit was present, and they actually witnessed blinds raising on their own while on the train car.
Wow.
That was cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Because those blinds, they don't do that. Those retractory, they've got you have to actually use force to pull that lever, pull that, string down.
Right. Yeah.
To move that blind. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because it's totally different from the windows that they could have rattled shut or whatever. They're just old. Right. They fell down. These
slide them down.
Up. That doesn't happen, It was a pretty interesting video to watch, and it wasn't very long, so you guys should definitely go try to find that and check it out. The Midwest Railroad Preservation Society still offers not only day tours and rides along the death car, but from time to time they do still host those paranormal investigation events as well. One recent visitor, Troy Kelman, posted on Facebook that, and I quote, "I can attest to the fact that the car is haunted." He goes on to say, "There are several spirits in the coach. Men in the smoking section were having casual conversation when I walked in." He means like ghostly men in the smoking section, not real people. Then he says, "Being in full uniform, all the ghostly passengers got quiet and stared at me as if I was the conductor." My guess is that Troy actually works there, maybe as a tour guide, and the tour guides dress up. That or Troy is a 5-year-old little boy with a Facebook page. I'm not 100% sure because I thought he was just a visitor. But then he said something about a uniform. He goes on to say, "Only one spirit was not pleasant. She made my skin crawl. She followed me right to the end of the coach and stared me down through the tool car window. Gotta say, I never opened a rusty car gate so quickly in my life before or since. I laugh now, but that yard was full of ghosts at the time."
I think that dude was totally freaked out, right? He was like, gotta get out of here.
Wouldn't you have to be? I mean, I couldn't tell you a better story than Troy just did. So that's that's it for me as well. That's the finale. He saw a car full of fucking ghosts. Not just one dude in a tweed suit. He's like, "Hi, ghost, hi, ghost, hi, ghost. Whoop, you're creepy. I gotta go." The end.
The end. Peace out. That's a really wild experience to just walk up on that and be like, who the fuck are all you people?
And then he just walked through the car too. Can you imagine going down the way and there's just you ever saw that movie? What was it? Is it called 13 Ghosts where they're in that house?
Yep, that's 13 Ghosts. Yeah.
And they're just all there.
Yeah, I remember that one So have you ever seen Quick Change?
No.
It's an old movie. What was the guy's name? Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Is that the good-looking one or the funny-looking one?
I think he's good-looking.
Okay, so then Randy Quaid is not the good-looking one. So Randy Quaid and Bill Murray are in Quick Change. You have got to make time to watch this movie. It's amazing. Why did I bring it up?
I don't know, but I mean, like, just a great movie recommendation.
It was a huge...
I'm writing it down.
What, you just told me something, and I'm like, you have to see this movie now.
13 Ghosts and...
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so the guy is... It's the same guy from 13 Ghosts. I don't remember his name, but he was also the guy that played Monk, I guess. I never saw that show.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. Oh, fuck. Okay, I don't know his name. But
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, 100%. He's just recently in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, and I haven't seen that yet, but I've heard good reviews about that.
Fucking phenomenal in it. He is hilarious.
But I only ever remember him from Quick Change because he's the non-English speaking guy and he's trying to tell you who the fucking people are that robbed the bank. He just says he's driving a bus, but he says bluff tooney. And he's sweating and he's crying because he's been in interrogation for like 13 hours plus. And he's just like, bluff tooney. And he waves, bluff tooney. So please make time to see Quick Change if you have not seen it yet. Because like I said, Gina Davis, not the cute Quaid. I guess his name is Dennis. Randy, I don't remember.
Randy. Dennis is cute.
Okay, the funny one. He's in it. And Bill Murray, of all fucking people.
So you could have just stopped at Bill Murray. And
Bill Murray,
I know. It. Yeah.
It's amazing. This movie is from maybe the late 80s to early 90s. It's one of the reasons why I grew up to be a good person. And already knew of Dia de los Muertos because of that movie. So, The Day of the Dead.
I'm sorry. I was looking up the guy's name from Monk.
Oh. What is it?
Tony Shalhoub.
All right. Well, so Brandon, my husband, can testify because anytime he comes up in my conversations, I always do the same thing. Bluff tooney. You've got to watch this. This movie is so good.
I have to watch it. I'm
Please
totally
watch it.
Looking for that. I got to find me some lazy time to be able to watch it, but I will.
Excellent. I love that movie.
So, back to this story. If you happen to have had a paranormal experience upon the death car or anything at the Midwest Railroad Preservation Society, please write to us at creaturesofthenight@gmail.com. Or if you have had any haunting stories, we would love for you to share any of it.
Yeah.
And then we will share it on the podcast. We will also post pictures from these stories on our social media pages, which are COTN_paranormal on Instagram and just plain old COTN paranormal on Facebook and Twitter. So you can also leave as many comments as you like. We'd love it. And you can direct message us on those social pages.
Yes, we will post everything unless we find out that Lackawanna has anything to do with Lackawanna, because Chris has already told you she's copyrighting that shit.
Look, what had drawn me to it was, well, this is so silly, but when at least my oldest, for sure, was younger, Polar Express had come out, and it was a big deal. And just recently, we were out, he and I, doing some shopping, and then I stopped and got him something to eat, and he was eating it, and it was too hot, and he goes, hot, hot, hot. And when he was a little boy and Polar Express came out, he would go around, like, with his hand up, like he was holding a tray, and he would go hot, hot, hot and talk about the hot chocolate. And so it was like, Polar Express, that's a Christmas theme, right? So I'm going to go back to that train that we saw in Montana, and I'm going to try to stick with the season here. Well, that shit wasn't haunted. And so, so like I said, I stumbled upon this horrible accident, and I was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. This is what I dig for the week. So we're going to have to talk about this instead.
When you started getting into your story and you were talking about trains, no fucking lie, I was in the same mindset because I totally wrote down Polar Express. Like, that's exactly, like, I'm like, oh my God, that's where I am too at this Christmas time and Polar Express. Yes.
Just trains seem like Christmassy to me. So, though this was a horrible experience.
I know, right?
Nothing like heartwarming like the holidays or anything like that.
Right.
But like I said, I tried to find you like a little, it just didn't work out.
It's not like the traditional Ghost of Christmas Past kind of Polar Express, like ghosts bringing you to whatever.
Nope.
No, I get it.
Nope, it was a horrible ass accident that happened, but it happened upon a train. So
it is a true story. And there are some legitimate haunted experiences that have happened because of it, which this is how I feel about it. I don't know if anyone else does, but the true Christmas spirit is something of the past. It's the legends. It's the people that lived before us and died before us, their lives and their spirits that live on in these stories. And that's what we do around Christmas time. We sit in our homes, we get together where it's, we're warm around the fire. It's cold outside, so we get close and we share stories. And that's how we come to know about, these more morbid, not so very pleasing stories. They're more ghost tales. And I think that's what Charles Dickens was trying to point out, right? When it came to Christmas time, everyone gets together. So let's swap some stories. And, oh yeah, by the way, I'm into some weird shit. So here's some ghost
We love him.
We love him.
Yeah, well, no, you're right about it's just a time of getting together, and so you think of those that aren't there with you. Right. So you think of the past, and then you're grateful for what you have and everything. So yeah, look, if we're trying to spin this horrible train accident to a holiday feel, we're probably not doing a very good job. But that is how it started, and it shows you how fucked up my mind is. I went from my teenage child and just remembering him as a toddler, Polar Express, and to the death car.
But look at what I found out, guys.
It wasn't my fault. It's Google's. That's just the way it happens. But, speaking of the holiday season, don't forget, we have a shop. We have a little witchy shop for all your witches in your life, or just spiritual people or paranormal investigators. And it is called the Spirit Emporium. It serves all your spiritual needs as well as cool-ass podcast t-shirts. So you can, you want those for Christmas.
I love them.
So you can find that on Etsy, or you can even visit our website, thecreaturesofthenight.paranormal.com. We also post a lot of our own paranormal investigations on that website. So there's interesting stuff there to read as well. Though sadly, none of them are about haunted trains yet, at least.
Not yet.
If that Orbs group wants to hit us up for a group investigation, then we'd love to pair up with you guys. So.
Oh my God. Well, we would love to go back to Ohio because there's so many haunted locations there. But it's not just Ohio, Wendy. I mean, there's places in Illinois and Tennessee and Iowa. There's so many places that we want to go and visit. But a haunted train, have not done that yet.
So we have to.
Yeah, that's on the list.
We really have to quit our jobs and just take this show on the road. To get to it all.
We're going to have to start doing what Robin has suggested. And we go to the haunted location and podcast from the haunted location. Maybe we can get them ads at that point.
Oh, well, here's me in my terrible business mind. I don't even give a shit about the ads. I'm just yes.
Yes.
I want to podcast in haunted locations. Take me there now.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be next year's thing, is more of that.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more of that. Next, 2020. Oh my God.
2020, that's the goal. Podcasting from more haunted locations.
That's what the plan is for 2020?
Yeah.
Haunted locations and podcasting from them.
100%. That's going to happen. You guys are going to love us next year.
Oh my God.
Tell your friends. Anyways, that's all I got for you. Haunted trains. Bam. There you go.
It was awesome. I love haunted trains. I love haunted anything. So I hope that everyone else listening, clearly they must be loving us because that's why they're listening, right?
I hope that we're not just talking to ourselves. I don't really mind. I like sharing these stories with you. But I want to make a shout out to somebody on Instagram. We follow people and they follow us and blah, blah, blah. But on my own personal page, I follow this guy, but he does have his woman. I don't know if they're married or whatever. She's in the pictures as well. I'm assuming that she might be into ghosts as well. And it's Spirit Seeker NJ, so New Jersey.
Okay.
This is so dumb. I just want to give him a shout out that I enjoy his Instagram because he had a baby. And so he posts pictures of his infant ever since he was born.
I think that I follow them on COTN Instagram too. Yeah, I think I've seen those pictures.
But he posted a funny meme the other day day from 7, and it said, when your wife is addicted to Amazon, and it's Brad Pitt, and he's yelling, "What's in the fucking box?" But congrats to him on his baby, though his baby's a few months old now. But I just want to say I appreciate you stepping out of the paranormal box every once in a while and showing me your cute, adorable little child that I think is a boy, but maybe just because I have a boy. So
I know, right? You just assume. I do the same thing. Right. I thought it was a boy too. But also, that meme was hilarious. I wanted to show that to my husband because 7 was a big one for him. But when your wife is addicted to Amazon, he's like, "What's in the fucking box?" And he does this weird, "What's in the box?" I'm like, oh my God. That is my life.
And when the Christmas season hits like that and Amazon's delivering shit to your door like every day, it's like, what have you done?
Right. You come home and there's like 5 boxes outside and I'm like, those are my goodies.
All right. That is really it for us though, guys. Send us your stories, like and subscribe, rate and review. Please. We're going to keep torturing you with our stories if you don't tell us to stop. So,
we get more downloads, so we're going to keep going.
Yeah, the podcast host is lying to us, or you guys are actually listening to this and you're just too scared to tell us how awesome we are. But, I'm here to tell you it's okay.
It's okay.
You can express your feelings. I
Please.
love you too.
Right.
Let's share. Anyways,
we love to express our feelings.
All the time. She just put 2 middle fingers up. You couldn't hear that or see that. Anyways, all right. Bye, guys.
Cool. Bye.
Let me hit the mic one more time.
Let's
do that again.
That's how we end it. The hitting of the mic. Pop. That's it.
It's like a mic drop. Boom. It's just me hitting that stupid stand. All right. Bye.
Bye.